Hello there. My name is Risa Yosia Sunindio, and today I will share with you this interesting research on safety climate in the Indonesian construction industry. Now, let's start by understanding the context. Not many people are aware of Indonesia. This country is the largest economy in Southeast Asia. In terms of the number of population, it is the fourth largest country in the world after China, India, and the US. The construction industry in Indonesia is experiencing rapid growth because of the commitment from the government to develop the infrastructure in the country. On the negative side, the Indonesian construction industry is notoriously known as being dangerous. A simple statistic here. One-third of workplace accidents which happen across industrial sectors in Indonesia actually happen in the construction industry. There is still a lack of focus on occupational health and safety. So essentially, health and safety performance in the Indonesian construction industry still needs to be improved considerably. This research focuses on safety climate. So let's understand the concept of safety climate briefly. So what is safety climate? Safety climate is a summary of moral perceptions that employees share about their work environment. So essentially it's about how people feel about safety and safety management systems in their workplace. There are six common dimensions which can manifest the level of safety climate in the workplace. Management commitment. So employees must perceive that managers are committed to safety and consider safety as equally important as other measures of organizational performance, such as productivity and profit. Communication. So this refers to regular informal and formal communication between managers and the workforce about health and safety issues and the need to work safely. Safety rules and regulations. I think this is understandable. Safety policy, rules, and procedures must be perceived as practical, realistic, and appropriate. Supportive norms or supportive environment. This refers to the degree of trust and support in the workplace, including relationships with superiors, relationships with co-workers, and overall work conditions that are conducive to health and safety. Personal accountability. The workforce should value health and safety and be actively involved in developing health and safety initiatives rather than being passive recipients of safety policy and procedures from the top. And the last one, safety training. So health and safety training must be perceived to be effective in providing sufficient knowledge for employees to identify safety risks and perform their works safely. So these are examples of the manifestation of safety climate in the construction industry. So now we understand what safety climate is. So some people confuse the meaning of safety climate and safety culture. So safety climate is actually the psychological dimension of safety culture. So in short, safety climate is part of safety culture. So safety culture is a broader concept. It includes the behavioral dimension, it includes the corporate dimension, and it also includes the psychological dimension, which is the safety climate in the organization. So why safety climate is important? So we can see here, safety climate is a reliable indicator to assess health and safety performance. And it is also a leading indicator. So it is different from, say, for example, counting the number of accidents in the workplace, or maybe assessing the incidence rate in the workplace. These are lagging indicators because they only can measure performance after something has happened, something bad has happened, like accidents and incidents. Safety climate is a leading indicator because it can assess health and safety performance, even though, in a sense, nothing bad has happened in the workplace. But we can see some signs, even though nothing has occurred in the workplace. So, therefore, safety climate is considered as a leading indicator. So at the moment, there is limited study on safety climate in the Indonesian construction industry. Given the size of the country and the size of the industry within the country, more studies are still needed to assess the level of safety climate in the Indonesian construction industry. So appropriate interventions also can be developed to improve overall health and safety performance. We use a questionnaire to assess safety climate in the Indonesian construction industry. So we collected data from infrastructure and building projects. So we would like to compare the safety climate levels in these two types of project. So as you can see here from the infrastructure project, we collected data from 144 workers and project personnel, so they are based on site. While from the building projects, we collect the data from 167 people. So as I explained earlier, for the infrastructure project, this is actually a complex project. This is the first one of this type of project in Indonesia. The building projects are essentially common medium rise buildings, which obviously have been done so many times, countless times in the country. Now let's see the contractor for the infrastructure project. This is a joint venture of international and large local contractors. The international contractor is also well known for its high level of safety implementation and the use of advanced technologies, which obviously are needed for such a complex project. The contractor for the building projects are local contractors, even though, yes, their size is a big contractor. So the assumption here, the infrastructure project should have higher level of safety climate. Why? Because it is being led by an international contractor, which is well known for its high level of safety implementation. So on the opposite side, the building project should have lower safety climate. So this is our initial hypothesis, which we intend to test in the research. So here are the results, and the results are actually quite interesting. So this column represents the safety climate at the infrastructure project, and this column is the safety climate in the building projects. And you can see the levels of safety climate for all the dimensions, as well as the overall safety climate level. So the numbers mean as you can see on the legend here. So 1 is strongly disagree and 6 is strongly agree. So for all factors included here, the building projects actually had higher safety climate than the infrastructure project. So it is against our initial hypothesis. So if we see particular dimensions of safety climate, especially for safety rules and procedures over here. So why the numbers are highlighted? So they are highlighted because the difference between the levels of safety climate is actually statistically significant. So we can say with 95 confidence rate or level that safety rules and procedures in the building projects were actually higher than the safety rules and procedures in the infrastructure project. This is the same case when it comes to supportive environment and also the same case when it comes to the overall safety climate level. So it is interesting. The building projects actually have higher safety climate level than the infrastructure project, even though the infrastructure project was being led by an international contractor with a lot of experience in delivering projects safely. Some of the key findings, the first one, safety climate levels are satisfactory. If you remember from the previous slide, all the numbers actually above 4. So it means that the numbers are quite satisfactory. Remember, the range of the level is from 1 to 6. The second finding, hypothesis was rejected. So initially we thought safety climate in the infrastructure project should be higher than that in the building projects, but that's not the case after we analyzed the data. So the safety climate level in the building projects is actually higher than the safety climate in the infrastructure project. So why is that? So we can see the data or the result deeper, and we can argue that project complexity influences the level of safety climate, because the infrastructure project is very complex. That is actually the first type of that project in the country. So not many people are familiar on how to actually build the facility. So in this kind of complex project, more attention is needed in implementing health and safety measures. So we recommend that there must be stakeholder collaboration in the planning stage. So it's very important for all the stakeholders to come together and consider how the project can be delivered successfully and safely within the constraints that they have. There must be a stringent enforcement as well of health and safety regulations when the project is complex. And there must be stronger supportive environment as well. Again, when the project is complex, there must be much support available for everyone involved in the project. And the last finding, we pay attention on the lowest satisfaction safety climate items. And the lowest two items are unrealistic work targets and also being worried of getting injured or being involved in an accident. So I suppose it's good to know the concerns from the workers and from people who are working on site, so managers can develop or implement intervention strategies to address these kinds of issues to improve health and safety performance in the construction industry. Just to quickly conclude, safety climate level in the Indonesian construction industry in this case is satisfactory, maybe because the projects are being led by large construction companies. So usually they have higher safety standard than small and medium-sized companies. So I think more research should be done to collect data from smaller companies to see their safety climate level, so we can compare their level with the level in the larger companies. And the second one, we can confirm the influence of project complexity on health and safety performance in the construction industry. So when managing complex projects, we do need to focus more on planning, on collaboration between stakeholders, and providing more support and also stringent enforcement of health and safety rules and procedures to ensure high level of health and safety performance in this kind of project. And finally, the last one, unrealistic work targets and accidents being perceived as the norms are the lowest items assessed in the safety climate survey. So it's very important for managers to pay attention on these two issues. So in this case, health and safety should become one of the key project goals. So it should be at the same level as the other priorities in the project. There is a need for a stronger enforcement of health and safety regulations, and people also need to understand the economic and social benefits of health and safety. So again, we need to develop a business case for health and safety in the Indonesian construction industry, so people and stakeholders are willing to embrace health and safety measures and initiatives to improve its performance. If you are interested to learn more concerning this research, you can visit this website. And this research has been published, and the title of the publication is Comparing Safety Climate in Infrastructure and Building Projects in Indonesia. Thank you.